Hello and welcome to Art Beyond the Museum's UK edition. I'm Dan and I'll be talking you through this leg of the series. So, first of all, let's touch the series. What is Art Beyond Museums? For this, we're going to focus on what museums are. Are they places to collect art and store them and let them collect dust? No, they're places to collect art and exhibit them to the people and show them to the world. So when we find ourselves in a global pandemic where we can't visit our favourite museums, our favourite cities around the world, what do? Do we let the artwork go to waste, locked behind a closed door? No, we're going to bring them to you. So Master Yun Long Zi of Lotus on Water in Singapore is going to share with you some of his incredible art exhibition. This art exhibition in particular is currently the only and the first art exhibition ever to be held on the Great Wall of China. Not only that, Master Yun Long Zi has had 14 major art exhibitions around the world. His collectors include the Cambodian royal family, the director of the Louvre Museum, as well as the managing director of Laurent Perrier Champagne. Today we're in my home city of Birmingham in the UK, in Wine Freedom in Digbeth. So this episode we're going to be focusing on the links between artwork and wine, and the art form of creating wine, bottling wine and serving wine itself. Strong link between Master Yun and the wine industry is that Laurent Perrier Champagne also helps market it and sponsor this event. So, a special connection between Master Yun and Laurent Perrier Champagne is that Master Yun is the only artist ever to have designed a piece of artwork for one of their bottles. Also, a unique thing about Master Yun's paintings is that he actually uses Laurent Perrier in the designs themselves. By filling the bottles with colour and paint and natural colours and organic materials, he'll burst the bottle of champagne over the paintings, which creates a unique effect which can't be repeated across any of his paintings, even by the artist himself. Master Yun, along with this incredible achievement with Laurent Perrier, has also achieved numerous awards around the world, including 2019 I Ching Gold Medal Master Award from China CCTV, one of the most renowned artists in the world and a 6th generation Feng Shui master. In 2006, Master Yun took all of his knowledge and all of his experience to open Lotus on Water Art Gallery in Singapore, and since then they have gone strength to strength, producing some incredible exhibitions, including the one we're exploring today. So, as mentioned, I'm here at Wine Freedom, and today Sam Olive of Wine Freedom will be talking to us a bit more about the art form of winemaking. So a fantastic insight into the artwork behind wine and what they do here at Wine Freedom. Also looking at the links between art and wine itself.
Hello, I'm Sam and welcome to Wine Freedom. We are based here in Digbeth in Birmingham, sort of central Birmingham, just on the outskirts of central Birmingham. And we are an independent wine merchant that specialises in organic, handmade, natural wine. So wine as it should be, the sort of the 1% of the winemaking, I guess, out there. So 99% of the wines that you tend to find on the supermarket shelves these days are what we call like Coca-Cola juice. They're made to a formula with lots of additives and elements being stripped out. So what we do is we champion winemakers that work sensitively. They work with the fruit and the grapes and make good quality, handmade, organic, natural wine. What we also try and do is wine education, make wine accessible and fun, because when you're out drinking with your friends and your family, you want to be having a good time. So what we try and do is give you a bit of education at the same time as coming out and having a bit of fun with your friends and family whilst you're drinking with us. So we retail. We have lots of different wines. that we have here. Around about, I had a little count up the other day, around about 400 or so. And I guess we're here today with Dan and the rest of the team here to talk about the relationship between wine and art. Now, I come from an art background. I guess you could sort of call me a bit of creative. I did an art degree and a diploma. I'm no kind of expert in any shape or form, but I do see a relationship between artistry in making wine. Well, making wine is a form of art to a certain degree. And we've just been looking at Master Yun's artwork, and one of our ideas is, what wine would you pair with a Master Yun piece of artwork? Quite a delicate grape variety, but it's one of those grape varieties that a lot of winemakers like to try and master, because it's a very delicate grape. It's quite particular on where it grows. It provides nice sort of delicate flavours, but also it can be very, very complex as well at the same time. It's also a great variety which features in champagne winemaking. So champagne winemaking, you have Pinot Noir, which is in this bottle here, Pinot Meunier, and you also have Chardonnay as well. So there's a nice kind of like Laurent Perrier link in there too. And also, Pinot Noirs don't tend to be the cheapest one off the shelf. They are normally a little bit more complex, so more complexity means that they tend to be a little more expensive, and Master Yun's artwork, I know, is not particularly cheap. So I kind of think the mastery, the artistry, if you're a winemaker, then you normally like to try and work with Pinot Noir as one of the sort of the kings of the grape variety world. So this is a Pinot Noir that's made in Adelaide in Southeast Australia by David, who is what I would call like an artistic winemaker. I think it's his other half that hand paints and hand draws, not this particular label, but it's a print, but as you can kind of see, it's a hand-drawn design, and the idea is that she gets a group of friends and she kind of creates an impression of what the wine tastes like. So there's a real kind of like crossover and a link, particularly between Pinot Noir and this wine made by Vintolopa. It's lovely, delicious stuff, and it's kind of one of those bottles that if you're looking for like a nice kind of indulgent glass, this one's quite an easy one to go for. So Laurent Perrier, Master Yun, Vintolopa Pinot Noir. You'd never think we'd make those connections ever, but I think they actually work quite nicely. It's been great having Dan and the team with us this afternoon, and a big thanks to Master Yun for showing us his artwork, and well, Dan showing his artwork. If you're ever in Birmingham and you're interested in wine, please do come and visit us. We, as I mentioned before, we specialise in natural organic wine, but the main kind of core of what we do is wine education. So even if you've just got like a little bit of an interest in wine, we can help you to become a more informed, confident wine drinker. We sell wine online, so we've got an online shop which is winefreedom.co.uk. We've got this lovely, amazing warehouse where we can do big wine parties and big kind of educational experiences. And we're really kind of all about, this space is all about creating experiences where sort of wine and taste and food can come together. We might even bend Dan's arm to come and maybe do a pop-up at some point in the future. So look us up, Wine Freedom, Digbeth, Birmingham, and we look forward to having you with us.
So, now we've had a quick talk and a quick lesson into the art form behind wine itself, let's look at some of this amazing collection from Master Yun. So right here to my right, we have FSC237. The title of this piece is The Sun and Moon Has Multiple Lights. Now when we talk about the sun and moon, we talk about heaven and earth, day and night, and opposing things. A unique thing about Master Yun's paintings is that under UV light, they completely change. So as we can see it here, we can see beautiful oranges, the thick calligraphy strokes, the use of black pine soot ink, a very bold, standout, vibrant painting. Now, under UV light, this completely changes. You're almost looking at a completely different painting. Although it's still bright and vibrant, it's almost an outer space, a dream world feel. And that is what Master Yun does. When we talk about the differences between the sun and the moon, day and night, we look at heaven and earth, and this is almost entering a dream world. So that's the point of this picture. It's clearly not a very traditional Chinese picture, although it has traditional elements which Master Yun likes to use in his Feng Shui paintings. Master Yun uses his experience and knowledge to create two paintings in one. One almost a spiritual painting when it's under UV light, a dream world, and this one we see here today, the use of 24 karat gold, 18 karat gold and silver, a unique boldness to stand out in any art collector's collection. A very unique piece and a beautiful piece, almost a warming feeling coming from the page. The use of layers creates a 3D effect. So not only do the colours pop off the page, it's almost as if the artwork itself is coming towards you and being drawn towards you. The brightness of the sun, the appeal of the moon, hence the name, the multiple lights of the sun and the moon. As you can see, now to my right, I have two incredible cranes from the collection. So when Master Yun did the art exhibition on the Great Wall of China, he created a 14-metre long piece of artwork. On that artwork included 108 cranes. Right next to me, I have two of them, 068 here and 067 there. Both of them represent cranes, both of them represent a traditional creature that's found within Chinese paintings. What's not traditional is how Master Yun actually paints the cranes. Instead of the stick, thin bodies, the long, thin legs, what Master Yun has done here is created a rounded body, a rounded crane, almost as if it's a more spiritual creature, not the usual traditional cranes. Master Yun wants to represent more the spiritual side of these cranes, the spiritual side of these creatures. Again, in the last painting we looked at, the sun and moon that has multiple lights, under UV lights it completely changes. Master Yun has made no exception here, using a modern technique again, using UV lights. When a UV light is held over these two cranes, they completely change the picture. Instead of seeing the outlines of the cranes and seeing the necks, the body shapes themselves, what you see is what Master Yun likes to see as the celestial beings, the spirits of the creatures. This also shows up in the flowers, the peonies, which are also present in these paintings. So under UV lights, you'll see that you won't see the bird shape, you won't see the flower shapes. What you'll see is dots, bright sparks, which represents the spirits, the link between animals and plants, the connection between everything else. So when we talk about heavenly bodies, heavenly spirits, this is what we get here. This is what Master Yun creates in his Feng Shui paintings. So this is just not an ordinary painting you get, this is something else. Something that Master Yun wants you to see and feel, not just view as a single painting on a page. When you hang these in your room at night and then a UV light comes on, it's almost as if you're entering the dream world. You're being part of this celestial being, this celestial world which Master Yun has managed to create in this very unique art exhibition. Again, as we look at the use of gold within these paintings, a unique trait that Master Yun likes to do. Gold can be traced back as far as ancient Egypt when it comes to artwork and paintings, but no one has ever used it quite as much or quite like Master Yun does. He's used 18 karat gold and 24 karat gold in these paintings. He's built them up in layers. So the techniques Master Yun uses is not traditional Chinese painting techniques. We're leaning towards more oil canvas paintings where you have to build layers up, and that's what Master Yun needs to do to create these interesting UV paintings as well as the ones you see in broad daylight. Unmatched, almost a 3D effect on the page as it bursts off. Natural uses of ingredients, natural uses of colours, traditional techniques combined with modern is what we see here today. And as we've looked through the wine history, winemaking, and the links between art and wine, we always appreciate the traditional techniques, but we like to bring it into a more modern approach and a modern feel in this day and age. And we see that all around the world, in everything we go towards, everything we look towards. The tradition is always respected, but people are always looking towards the future. And that's what we see here at Wine Freedom. Digbeth itself in Birmingham, an old industrial hub, which is now a creative and innovative centre for all young individuals. As we come to the end of this episode of Art Beyond Museums, I hope you've really enjoyed it. I hope it's been educational, inspirational to you. We've looked at the history of wine, the art form behind wine, the links between wine and Master Yun's paintings. And of course, some of this collection can be your very own, from Lotus on Water in Singapore. If you ever get the lucky chance to make it to Birmingham in the UK, Wine Freedom, of course, is a must-stop for all wine lovers, and to appreciate the history and art behind wine itself, from natural wines, organic wines and independent winemakers. It's a very unique place to visit and a gem in the middle of Birmingham. Thanks again for joining us for Art Beyond Museums, UK edition. I'm Dan, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.
The Art Beyond Museums series and Master Yun Longzi's Feng Shui art are proud to be sponsored by Laurent Perrier. For 200 over years, Laurent Perrier has not worked with any other artist before. When you purchase a piece of Feng Shui art exhibited in this Art Beyond Museums series, you will also be getting a complimentary set of 5 different specially selected cuvées of Laurent Perrier champagne: de la Cuvée, de Cuvée Rosé, Brut Millésime, Demi-Sec Harmony, and the Cuvée Grand Siècle, so that you can enjoy the taste of elegance while basking in the prosperity of Master Yun's Feng Shui paintings and calligraphies. Cheers to prosperity and elegance.